Rau with Spectrum Channel 4, and today I am joined here with Pam Stricker, who is the Director of the Streetlight Ministry, and her husband Jerry, who is the Executive Director. Thank you for coming out and speaking with me today.
Thanks for having us.
How has your days been so far?
Beautiful. This weather is amazing. We love fall.
Yeah, it's a pretty drive down, so good stuff.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I was looking at the website for the ministry, and I thought you could share with our viewers just how it got started.
Okay. Well, Streetlight Ministry was born this summer. I had left the job. I was working with the homeless in Clermont County. Decided we wanted to go out on our own so we could cover Southwest Ohio and not have limitations just to Clermont County. So I've had a heart for the homeless for the past 15 years. I'm an old homeless guy myself, and I really felt passionate and talked with Pam, and we had a gentleman step up to help us get the doors open and made a financial donation, and we were off to the races after that, up and running.
That's great. So what services does the ministry offer?
Well, we have quite a menu from A to Z. We are a ministry and outreach on wheels for the homeless, the poor and the eminent homeless, and we reach them where they are, whether it's under a bridge or in an empty lot or one of the metal houses at the Lowe's or Home Depot, storage sheds, parking lot at Walmart, Kroger's, whatever, sleeping in their vehicles, hitchhiking up and down Beachman Avenue, just wherever it takes us is where we go. And we provide services such as sleeping bags and backpacks, groceries. They may need help with identification like a driver's license or a state ID. We also provide hot meals for large groups of them throughout the Southwest area, as well as prayer, certainly prayer time if they would ask for that, transportation. So it's a whole spectrum of things, you know, Blainton from A to Z. So
well, it's great knowing that people are out there and willing to help others.
Yeah, and with it being cold out right now, it's getting worse and worse.
Oh yes, so definitely. Rapid decline immediately this year.
Yeah,
Felt like
35s this week, 2 nights in a row. That's kind of chilly.
Yes.
So.
And then, does the ministry help people who are searching for new jobs and opportunities?
So that's not really our primary focus. However, we can help facilitate connecting them to things like Ohio Means Jobs, or a lot of times we'll know about situations where people are hiring. The challenge for a lot of the people that are homeless, though, you know, a lot of them don't have a vehicle, or some of them that are, they may already be working 2 jobs but not able to cover the cost of housing. You know, we got one person we know about right now that's with these 5 kids that hold up in a hotel room, and he's just getting ready to start a new job. But it's not always the people on the street corner waving the sign. There's a lot of homeless people that most of us never see. We have a woman that Jerry worked with this past year or so, and she lost her home that she'd been in for years due to being scammed out of the title to her home. Wow. So, you know, it's a whole plethora of things that can have put them in a position where they're homeless. So if jobs is like the #1 concern, well, certainly we can help try to facilitate that. Jerry does a lot with, seems like we've had a lot of people that ended up with no ID, and he can help them get ID. You can't get a job without ID, you know? So there's just some real basic things that we try to help with.
Well, that's great to hear. It really is. And then how can someone in need of assistance, if they can, get in contact with you in the ministry?
So the most of the way that we get our contacts are usually through organizations that he's been working with. Like he said, he's been working with the homeless for the last 15 years, so and most of it in Southwest Ohio. So he's got a really good working relationship with a lot of networks like house shelters, law enforcement, park directors, park rangers, churches. So they're usually the people that are homeless, and they're contacting somebody for help. Food pantries, Alcoholics Anonymous, places like that, meetings like that. Those are all places that, you know, you can connect with the homeless. But a lot of the people will call, most of our contacts have been people that have called you directly, right, Jerry?
Right, like Brightview Council Center in Brown County or Sheriff's Department. Or, you know, each community has their share of homelessness. In Los Angeles alone, there's 47,000 homeless people in one city. I mean, you could fill Paul Brown Stadium with those numbers. Wow. And Brown County and Adams County and Clermont's no different. So, yeah, they're out there.
Wow. Do you have a location or a main building that you use?
So we work out of our home. We don't have a shelter. We don't have a physical place that they come. We go to them out on the street. The other thing I was going to say about how we find them, how we connect with them, rather than them calling us. Jerry's like a, I don't know, like a hound dog finding people that are homeless. I mean, he knows how to spot them. He knows a lot of places where they might even be camped out. He knows how to look for them. And sometimes it's just been somebody that he's come across. One guy that he came across recently was sleeping in a construction trailer that had 4 flat tires or something, you know. And I don't even know how you discovered that, but he had just an inkling that there might be somebody camped out in there, and sure enough, there was somebody living there.
Well, I was coming out of the woods behind the laundromat. Laundromats and libraries are huge because able to charge your phone or do laundry. The big thing with homeless men and women is they can get a sandwich maybe somewhere, a bag, a cup of coffee, but to get to shower and clean clothes are the two real difficult obstacles when you're out on the streets and in the woods, you know.
And Wi-Fi. A lot of them
so
will
that
have.
head to the libraries, it's free, you know.
They gotta have a place to
Wi-Fi.
charge their phones, and a lot of them have a phone.
Yeah.
And then if I can also add to that, do you in the future maybe plan on maybe having your own shelter instead of working outside of your home, expanding past that maybe?
Well, we've been approached by a group of people to start looking at property, not just us, but 3 or 4 organizations together. However, you know, we're boots on the ground, and I think that Streetlight Ministry will always be boots on the ground, so we take it to them.
Yeah.
Not everybody has a car, a pickup truck, whatever, where they can go to the pantry and get groceries. Yes. They can go to the church and eat a hot meal. So we're very unique in the way. In fact, I don't know too many organizations that are doing it, where we take it out to the community, out to the streets, out to that person themselves, and reach out to their location. So, I mean, let's face it, not everybody has cell phones either that we deal with. So.
I feel like that might add even more of a, in a sense, like a personal feeling even for them. To have someone that feels like they come to them, it feels more close, rather than going to more of like, in a sense, like a crowded area. And it feels more personal with you guys going to them. I
mean, absolutely. It's like breathing hope into their lives. And you see the pain and the anguish in their eyes, and you know, the disbelief or the judgment that society's had on them. It's like the senior citizen that only sees the mailman maybe when they come to their house and deliver mail. So the folks we run to a lot, I may be the only person they see that day that speaks to them. So I try and get their first name immediately and humanize it and make it that they're a person and not an object, and share some compassion and mercy and grace. So, yeah.
There's so much stigma attached to, you know, the public perception of the homeless person. So they're usually in a position where, you know, they've been stripped of their dignity, and they don't trust a lot of people because of situations that they've had to encounter. So Jerry and even me, I mean, I'm able to go to, especially when there's a woman involved. A lot of times of a woman who's been involved with domestic violence, who's, you know, the home was destroyed because of that. But together we can go and help break down those walls, that separation, and develop a trust. So yeah, that part is, I think, unique to what we do compared to, you know, maybe a shelter where they're dealing more with more of a mass.
Yeah.
That's one reason that we just really had a heart to start this ministry, was because it gave us the freedom to really share our heart with them and to get with them on a face-to-face basis.
You know, when we do hot meals in the parking lot at a motel or one of the malls or whatever, we might have, like last night did one for 40 people showed up, week before, or 2 weeks before that, 65. Sometimes maybe 12, so you never know how many homeless and poor would show up to eat a hot meal, but we really enjoy doing the meals. It draws a crowd into that area. So
it helps us stay, you know, more connected with them. They know we're going to be there a certain time every month.
And build the relationships and the
Yes.
trust that you talked about
Yes.
earlier. So, yeah.
Definitely. And then are there any other members in the ministry that work with you and your husband on helping the ministry?
We have 15 to 20 volunteers that are kicking in and out right now. Preparation food, or we can count on for transportation and whatnot. We have an executive board. All of those board members pitch in. They have a variety of different gifts that they bring to the ministry, and that's been a real need. So yeah, we have several of those that are helping out and keeping it rolling.
One of our board members did our website. That's what he does for a living. We have other people. I was in the media business for a long time, so I have a lot of connections there. I have someone that I worked with for a long time did our brochure. She's great graphics, and then so we get a lot of prayer support for sure, and we have some regular monthly donors that are stepping up. But we just started in July, so everything is really very new, and we still need lots of help.
Well, then that can lead to my next question is, how can people in our community help the ministry?
So we have our website, which is streetlightministry.org. If anybody wants to go there, you can find out more about us on streetlightministry.org. There's a place there that you can donate if people want to make a monetary donation. But if you want to find out more who we are, what we're about, there's a lot more detail on that website that people can look at. If people want, we can also, I mean, I know we have some people who would just rather do, would write a check and don't want to do it through the internet, and that's fine. We have an address on there, P.O. Box 44, Batavia, Ohio 45103.
Okay.
And our phone number is on the website as well to contact us. So sure, we're open to anybody connecting with anybody.
Yeah. And then finally, is there anything else you would like to add?
I just, I'd like to thank people that do get involved in the community and show a heart for all community members, even the less than. In the scripture, in Matthew, in the Bible, it says the poor will always be among us, and we find that to be true, and it's growing because of COVID and all the COVID crisis here in America. So, yeah.
Well,
I think that's okay. I just wanted to say that, we very much feel that our mission is because of a scripture that Jesus gave, and he said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he's anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, and to set at liberty all those who are oppressed. That's our heart, is to just see these broken people helped. My big heart is for them to have, I want them to have a home. I mean, you and I have a home that we can go to and that we feel safe in and that we feel accepted and we can rest. Having a home is so huge, and I can't imagine not having a home, and that's what my heart is, really to see people, you know, have the things that they have need of. So.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Blaine.
Well, thank you for talking with me today and for sharing this information. I hope the ministry continues to make such an impact like you guys have already showed and said. So that's great to hear that you guys are doing that. And I hope that people who are at risk of homelessness can reach out to you guys or anyone in their area that needs it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. I'm Blainton Rau with Spectrum Channel 4.